A very good afternoon to you all. Thank you for watching UBC TV with me, Wadulo Mark Arnold. This is your lunchtime news, the second day of July 2022. We're honored that you have joined us. We now take you into the news in detail. Uganda National Teachers Union, UNATU, this Friday convened a meeting to decide whether they are ready to call off their industrial action following a letter written to them by the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Now, the meeting was held at UNATU offices in Kampala, and these were the details.
President Yoweri Museveni has written to Uganda National Teachers Union, UNATU, informing them that government does not have money for their salary enhancement, asking them to call off their industrial action and report back to school. Friday, members of Uganda National Teachers Union convened a meeting, calling all leaders for a meeting on Sunday to discuss a way forward.
Now, where we have reached as management, we are going to invite the union leaders, because the union has structures of leadership.
Talking to UBC TV, the Secretary, Uganda National Teachers Union, Philbert Baguma, said there is need for leaders to have a unanimous conclusion.
So we have invited the National Executive Council. We have invited the branch chairpersons from all districts, municipalities and cities in this country to come here. We shall communicate to them what we have received, and they will take a decision.
Baguma confirmed receiving the letter from President Museveni. He, however, asked teachers not to step in class until they reach a conclusion.
30th June, we received letters from Ministry of Public Service communicating the government's position over the industrial action. The position is not different from what they have been communicating. They have been indicating that government does not have money.
Sudat Kaye, Joseph Muyingo, UBC News.
In other news, the Security Minister, Major General Jim Muhwezi, has refuted claims by a section of media platforms peddling rumors of tensions within security players, especially within the UPDF. In an interview with UBC in his country home in Rukunjiri district, Minister Muhwezi assures the country that there is no need for alarm.
Last Sunday, upon returning from the 2022 CHOGM meeting in Rwanda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, also the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, convened a security meeting for top army bosses at his country home in Rwakitara. This, according to a section of media speculations, was as a result of the earlier directive by the Deputy CDF General Peter Ereru putting the army to a standby mode. Since then, the discussions about the country's security have remained a matter of concoction and narrative.
The media is full of anybody now is a journalist. It's not only you. Anybody who has access to the media writes. And some people believe that what has been written is newsworthy. But some of them, they are not worth the ink.
According to Security Minister, retired Major General Jim Muhwezi, Uganda is safe and secure, regardless of the current social media rise.
The security situation in the country is good. Don't go by horokoso, by the media.
He was addressing us shortly after the end of his Parish Development Model Mobilization campaign in his home district of Rukungiri, which has lasted for 2 weeks.
It was a very successful tour. We talked about the parish development model, and we also received reports of their needs, of their concerns, which I explained, and others I took note of, which I'm going to handle with the other government ministries and departments when I get back to Kampala.
Jim is hopeful that once Ugandans head to their core, in the due course, results will be witnessed.
But I also briefed them about some positive achievements we have made so far in health, in education, in roads, and so on. So it was a very positive interaction, and we are going both to benefit myself as their leader and them as my electorate.
Ever since the takeover of power by General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in 1986, almost 95% of Uganda has been entirely peaceful, and this has facilitated the country's development, which has now seen it jump to the middle income status countries. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Now, the Minister of State for Finance in charge of General Duties, Henry Musasizi, who is also the Rubanda East Member of Parliament, has warned the implementers of the Parish Development Model Program against corruption, saying that the vice frustrates government efforts of fighting poverty in the country. The Parish Development Model Program that was launched early this year by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni aims at improving household incomes and welfare of all Ugandans at the household level. Minister Musasizi revealed this during a sensitization meeting on the Parish Development Model Program at Rubanda District Council Hall.
When we are borrowing, when people are borrowing, we expect them to largely borrow as individuals. And they must borrow based on the bankable projects. So if we are lending, the parish chief should be able to go on the ground and physically ascertain that this money is going into a project which is existing, or where the plans are clear that the borrower is going to do something.
Parish chiefs, and I want to kindly request the parish chiefs to be careful with the parish model money. It is an examination that they are going to do. It is the first time that government is putting very many parish chiefs on payroll and employing them to make sure that parish model is implemented. I therefore request parish chiefs to pass the exam. The issue of soliciting money from groups, the issue of calling people that for them to be registered, when they are registered and given money, they will have to give chintu chidogo. It may make them fall into trouble.
The National Development Curriculum Center initiated Uganda Drop Everything and Read, codenamed DEAR, to help develop a reading culture among Ugandans. Now, the initiative focuses on the young generation, which they want to roll out countrywide by moving different schools into the reading curriculum.
The President Rotary Club from Kampala Sese Islands, Justin Nalongo, says the National Development Curriculum Center initiated Uganda Drop Everything and Read to help developing a reading culture among Ugandans. Kampala Rotary Club President Justin Nalongo now wants parents to emphasize the culture of reading to help learners to appreciate the culture of reading. Nalongo advises teachers to abandon their sit-down strike to avoid affecting the generation.
Parents, this is my message to you. Take time at least once every day. When your children get back, get a book, read a story, get a newspaper, pick out something which is very interesting. Sit down with your children and read. Encourage them to read. Or if they come back to school, ask them what they have read and they can read your story and you will understand.
Rotarian David Sevadawa says the future begins with infants, and as Rotary, they are to work hand in hand with government and other responsible bodies to improve the education sector in Uganda.
Tulina obuzibu nti amasomero gano abaana bano abawansi gavumenti etandikira mu P1 naye bano ab'oku nasale emijiji gya wansi ebadde tenaba kubyenyigira mundo. Rotary kyevudde egamba nti kejjerabe engeri gyenekikwataganyamu tulabe engeri gyetusobola okulaba nti ffenna wamu tutambuliza wamu omusomo n'entegeera y'abaana.
The head teacher St. Kizito Junior Primary School, Robert Mugisha, says the program is timely and it will change the reading culture among learners.
We are delighted, we are glad, and we are encouraging all the children and everyone out there to find passion in reading. We are celebrating reading today, and we are very, 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 very excited. Our children are excited, and we think reading is the way to go.
National Water and Sewage Corporation, together with KCCA, have supported expectant mothers with delivery items at Chisenyi Health Center 4 in Kampala. The senior manager, National Water and Sewage Corporation in charge of Kampala, Oto Pacific, says that the initiative is in line with the organization's corporate social responsibility to engage with communities in cleaning environments while saving lives. Chisenyi Health Center 4 receives over 3,000 expectant mothers for antenatal care, and 35 skilled deliveries are attended to daily.
In one of the key pillars of our strategic direction to engage with our customer and stakeholder engagement and the corporate social responsibility. That is why we are here today to talk to our customers, but also to give back to customers and also to clean the environment. We work in a clean environment so that this community can also work in a clean environment. And water is to ensure that we are in a clean environment.
It's my duty to see we partner and see that our communities benefit from such activities. So National Water coming out and choosing my Chisenyi Health Center 4. That was a good spot, and I want to thank them.
You realize that all those women, only 9 midwives attend to them daily. So, but at least we are able to see all of them. We don't send away anyone.
Now, the Court of Appeal has ordered for a retrial in the Kampala Central mayoral race election petition, which was filed by Semugoma Hamdan Chigozi, challenging Salim Uhuru's victory for the Kampala Central mayoral seat. Semugoma dragged NRM Salim Saad Uhuru to court, citing voter bribery, ballot stuffing, and erroneous nomination.
High Court Judge Isaac Muwata dismissed Nopo's Hamdan Semugoma Chigozi's petition against NRM Salim Uhuru's victory for the Kampala Central mayoral seat. Judge Isaac Muwata dismissed the petition on grounds that Hamdan Semugoma lacked evidence to support his petition. Semugoma filed an appeal before the panel of justices of Court of Appeal, Cheborion Barishaki, Egona Ntenda and Eva Ruswata. The 3 justices, after perusing both submissions, Friday morning ordered for retrial on this matter.
An order is made that the matter be remitted back to High Court for retrial on all issues except the issue of nomination, which has been resolved. The costs of this appeal and in the court below shall abide the outcome of the retrial.
The appellant Nopus Hamdan Semugoma Chigozi was pleased with the justice's judgment, citing that Uhuru bribed voters and ballot stuffed votes which led to his victory for Kampala Central mayoral seat.
The case has been sent for retrial. We have confidence and we are very sure, depending on our grounds. There is a ground for bribery, which is very standing. We have a ground for ballot stuffing, polling stations, voters, people who voted exceeded the number in the voters register. So we think we have firm grounds to win this case.
In the 2021 general elections, Nopo's Semugoma Hamdan Chigozi garnered 10,654 votes against NRM's Salim Uhuru, who got 13,144 votes. Meanwhile, the same court has also ordered fair trial in a petition filed by Samson Lokolis, the former member of parliament for Dodoti East County constituency in Kabong district, challenging Emmanuel Komolo's victory. The panel of justices of Court of Appeal, made by Egona Ntende, Muzamiru Chibedi and Monica Mugenyi, gave the judgment, which was read by the registrar of this court, Lilian Buchana. The justices quashed Soroti High Court decision, which had upheld Emmanuel Komolo's victory. For the Dodoti East County constituency seat in Kobong district, Samuel Lokolis, who stood for the Dodoti East County constituency, obtained 7,892 votes, while Komolo Emmanuel 7,903 votes, making a margin of 11 votes. Samuel Lokolis petitioned the Soroti High Court, seeking to set aside Komolo Emmanuel's victory, alleging that the election did not follow the electoral rules and principles. Judge Anibita Atule Mugenyi presided over the case at Soroti High Court. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Now, furthermore, Uganda Communications Commission is to hold annual cybersecurity competitions aimed at providing virtual space for students to learn more about cybersecurity and develop skills in different domains. Now, the Director, Rural Communication Development Fund, RCDF, at UCC, Mr. Nyombi Tembo, says that this is going to help the ICT community face emerging security challenges. More details.
150 students from 30 universities have enrolled for the cybersecurity training, from which they'll compete, and 8 of them will be chosen to undergo UCC training in cybersecurity. The successful students will join the rest of the world to help Uganda face the challenges of technology, since it's attached to almost everything in everyday life.
Knowledge, passion, the level at which somebody is, the leadership, all those different aspects of the individual will be looked at. We have a process through which we are going to pass. This process will end up where we shall have selected about 8 who will be trained in depth. But of course, as we go along, we shall train trainers of trainers. We will bring influence.
Due to high demand in the cybersecurity space, the trainees will have advantages of acquiring jobs and also being job creators, among others.
So they can use different avenues to explore more. So really this is just a drop in the ocean, but hopefully one of the big drops that will push them further, both those who win and those who will not win. So certification is one of it's a very critical aspect when it comes to cybersecurity, because it's what tells, gives confidence to those people who may want to give you a job or to engage you, to know that actually you have a certain skill from which they can develop you further.
There's already a requirement for these resources in the market, yeah, and not just for financial institutions, but for other institutions, that's government and non-profits. Yeah, they all require information security managers. Have enough demand to actually absorb the supply.
Thembo says more than 15 billion is lost every year on cybersecurity, and the trainees shall not only be aware of the dangers that come along with cybersecurity, but also handle them.
Companies lose a lot, colossal sums of resources, time into these compromise in the cybersecurity.
This is going to develop their skills in different domains, such as vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, digital forensics, and computer network defense. Shaidat Nasaku, UBC News.
We'll now take a short commercial break and be back with more news this afternoon. Stay tuned.
Sanyuse nnyo essanyu lijula kunzita. MTN momo terimba nalindi waka ngenda okuwulira essimu ezze nenga neera bino bya bulijjo ebyekifere kubanga mbeera awo omuntu n'ofuna essimu n'ogenda okuwulira oli atandise empaayo $5,000 kakati kino MTN bwe yankubidde bo tebansabye ku ssente wedda banzikakkanya na bukkakkanya nze nga ntabuse ngamba mu buli baffere nze nandi wano pulesa zaagala kunkuba bukubi sinneebaka ku tulo ate ke mumpadde emmotoka mu byonoonye kati ate awo wiiki ndala MTN yebale nnyo okutufaako fenga abeebulemeezi Luweero babalina waaka MTN.
Show them waka with MTN Momo Nyabo.
Simply deposit 20K or more on your mobile money for a chance to win 3 Toyota Succeeds and money to 2,000 lucky winners every week. We're giving away 24 cars and over 2 billion shillings of mobile money.
Football packages, great entertainment, sports, the local content, telenovela, the movies. There is something for everybody. Everybody, Go TV. This is where great stories live.
Get the best entertainment for any budget. With Go TV, you will have great entertainment for as little as 13,000 Uganda shillings per month. Go TV, great stories. Zidiwano, Go TV Uganda. Love it.
The Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 is back on Sunday, 3rd July 2022 at Lubiri Mengo. This year, the run will be physical and will be flagged off by Sabasaja Kabaka at 7 a.m. Come out in large numbers once again to Lubiri Mengo. Run for a cause to fight and end HIV by 2030. Buy your ticket today at 15,000 Uganda shillings from Airtel shops at Tobani Center, New Taxi Park, ShopRite Building, Benchwanka Street, Majestic Brands Office at Bulange Mengo. You can also buy your ticket using Airtel Money. Dial *185*5#. Select Payments, select Kabaka Run, and follow the prompts to complete the payment. Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 is brought to you by UNAID, CBS, BBS, and Airtel, the smartphone network.
Did you know it is mandatory to have all births registered and a birth certificate issued? Failure to do so attracts a penalty of imprisonment or a fine. It's proof of age and belonging to parents, protects and provides children with legal rights from crimes and abuse like defilement and child labor. Give your children a good future today and have their birth certificates. For more information, visit the NERA office in your area or visit our website www.nera.go.ug. This message is brought to you by NERA.
Princess! Is there a problem? Honey, relax. There'll be no more worries about SMSs, phone calls, sujui data, because Daddy has got an Airtel smart plan. There is even Airtel TV. It means no worries.
Enjoy life worry-free with Airtel Smart Plans. Shareable among 5 people. Use every day and pay.
Welcome back. We'll now take you to the world of business, where Goldmine Finance has unveiled an application aimed at providing quick cash to employees. The Chief Executive Officer, Goldmine Finance, Alan Tayebwa, says that no collateral is required for those in need.
Through partnerships, Goldmine is to engage individuals and employers to extend salary loans to their employees through mobile technology to manage their short-term liquidity needs.
Sort of sign a memorandum of understanding with the employer through which you're able to access money, because this money is a percentage of your salary. So if you earn, say 1 million, you can borrow quick money up to 300,000 shillings, 330,000 shillings on the phone without any paperwork involved.
So this one is a quick loan, to fix the necessary needs and not a loan that you'll be dependent on for a long time.
The mobile loan features intend to foster simplicity, and it is designed to be instant.
The timelines within which, because as an employee, to borrow money, you have to first write the processes, right? You have to first write and get approvals, and by the time you get the approvals, one, the boss may not be around, so you may not get the money, but it's also up to their prerogative to choose whether to give you the money or not. What we are trying to do is that in a matter of seconds, in less than a minute, you're able to get money on your phone, whether it's at midnight, whether you have an emergency in the middle of the night, whether it's over the weekend. You do not have to wait to be in office on a Monday morning to get your salary advance. You don't have to give a million reasons to your boss why you need the money so that they can sign off and give you a salary advance.
The growing financial technologies warrants interoperability principle to ensure data safety and transparency of money movement.
It's to do with the regulation and the security of the data.
connected with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Over 8,000 pupils of primary school-going age residents in refugee settlements and hosting communities in Uganda, Ethiopia and Tanzania are benefiting from a new project codenamed Play Matters that emphasizes the use of play for early learning. The project is being spearheaded by International Rescue Committee in Ethiopia, Tanzania and Uganda. It aims at using local materials to interest children in schools for better performance.
Children of primary school going age in refugee settlements and hosting communities in Uganda, Ethiopia and Tanzania are to benefit from a new project codenamed Play Matters. A program officer, Early Childhood Development BRAC Uganda, Joeria Nakakawa, says they have been able to train parents on how to make learning materials locally. She says the initiative emphasizes the use of plays for early learning.
Also language development, because the model is so involving, it is child-centered. They are learning through singing, storytelling, retelling the stories, so children develop in a swift way as far as language development is concerned. And also cognitive, because we have a number of materials, we have puzzles, so the children's cognitive develops at a higher speed compared to the children who are not in our ECD centers, whereby the teachers are not using the play-based model.
The chairperson Chegegwa District, John Byamkama Kisoke, says Chaka 2, the program is timely, adding that majority of pupils enjoy playing and this will help them to comprehend.
If possible, our government of Uganda, Ministry of Education, would cascade it to all schools in Uganda. And even private schools, they would learn that these young ones would learn better and comprehend what they are learning, and then we get good citizens in the future.
Byamkama further explains that the program has increased enrollment in schools such as Sweswe Primary School, with numbers doubling in some schools.
When the child wants to stay at home because she or he wants to play with the others at home, but now we'll be encouraged to go to school and play, but in the process of playing, they are learning and comprehending.
The country director, International Rescue Committee, Elijah Okeyo, says in terms of environmental protection, he noted that pupils use locally available materials and that they do not cut trees.
This is a learning through play for the children. They use locally available materials. Some use mud to make toys. Some use plastic sheetings. They use papers. They use things which are at their disposal at the household level or even in school. So when we talk about context-specific, child-friendly materials, it doesn't mean cutting trees. It means using the sticks, using things that are available.
Dr. Mulukeni Nigatu from Ethiopia says there is a lot they can learn from each other because in Uganda it is more practical than Ethiopia.
The pedagogy is there. We have taken lots of experiences, lots of lessons which we will bring to our country.
Joshua Kagoro, Peter Akugizibwe Harali, UBC News.
And that brings us to the end of our lunchtime news, this second day of July 2022. Thank you for being a lovely audience. From the team, we must say good night, good afternoon. But also do remember that later on today, we'll be having the weekly business roundup at 8:30 p.m. So please do stay tuned for that program. Thank you.
Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, in partnership with Uganda National Cultural Center, Namukekera Rural Industrial Center and Balan Promotions and Marketing Agency presents the official launch of Radio 7 with the Rwatamabane E-Live concert this Saturday, the 2nd of July, 2022 at Masindi Stadium. Don't miss fireworks display. Your favorite comedians and musicians